Hey everyone, welcome back to my craft space. This is attempt 2 to make this video. Yeah, hopefully it will go more smoothly this time. Let's see, there we go. Anyway, if you've been around for a while, you have heard me say that I am very, very impressed with Wandering Dreamer's ability to make tags into a work of art. And having watched a recent video of hers, I had to give it a try. I just wanted so much to make a beautiful tag like she does. Well, that's what I've come up with so far. I'm not sure what I could possibly do with it. It's not terrible, but it certainly couldn't carry a card by itself. And I don't really have any great ideas. And then Wandering Dreamer invited me to participate in the Tag Your Turn collaboration. Well, I was pretty excited about that. Another chance to give it a go, because I never seem to actually make these videos unless there's a collaboration I'm meeting a deadline for. Yeah, I know, there was no deadline, but I gave myself one. But I wasn't sure where to go with that. I like it, but... And then it dawned on me, we're running out of the month of May, and I'm not done with my grandma letters yet. As a matter of fact, I mostly haven't written my grandma letters yet this month. So I started thinking about that, and it's like, well, how about this? It's not a tag, but it has 3 tags. Is that good enough? And I can turn it into a little letter folder. So I hope that'll be good enough. This is the one that I tried to make and failed because I tried to pause the video, and somehow or other I ended up turning it off instead. But anyway, this one doesn't have the inside yet, but it will. And we'll try again to make another one. I need 4 of them anyway. So. Now, the first thing we need is card base. I'll line this up at there. Let's stick this down there. With any luck, I got the worst of the ink off the stamp. Nope. Oh well. Purple and blue are all right together. I don't have a lot of colored inks. Wandering Dreamer has gotten me started on the VersaFines, and they really are lovely. And they match up rather nicely with my Distress inks, which were my previous favorite and still are to the degree that I do so much with them. But if I want a good, crisp, clear effect, then I have to go with the VersaFine. I've actually used VersaFine Onyx for gazillions of years, but always the black because, well, I always stamped in black. And then I colored in if I wanted color. I guess I'm not terribly innovative, really. Now, I've been having trouble with getting a smooth print from this because it's just so big. Okay. I think really I get bubbles. And then I'm not sure what to do about them because they move. Yeah, the stamps and the paper all move, and I can't get a second good one when I've tried to rock the bubbles out. I have discovered, however, that with this design I can handle some patchiness because I just stick the tags over. Oh well. Tag over the place that is got it blank. Okay. Purple and green are going to be terrible. So I'm only going to make the purple one, and then I'll go wash this before I try to use my last color, which is green. Now, tags, more tags, many more tags. With this one, put that right there. You can see how I put tape down so I could tell exactly where to put the ink, so I didn't end up with extra ink all over everything. It only works with clear stamps, but it does with clear stamps. When I cut this sticky mat, I didn't make it wide enough. So the problem is that it doesn't take up all the room, and I have to work to make sure that it doesn't move. I was trying to be efficient and make as many mats as I could without having thought through what that was going to do. Sorry. I love this stamp. All the little envelopes with hearts. Perfect. It's actually a pretty good stamp for stamping envelopes. Kind of goofy, but you know. I mostly write to children, so why not? Actually, that's not true. I have pen pals, but they always end up getting second shift once all the grandma letters are done for the month. Okay. Next up, I think that's all I'll need this one for. Now, purple. Don't seem to have a purple one, but my pink will probably work. It's been a crazy, crazy time. My youngest son's girlfriend moved in about 6 months ago, and she's a darling girl. We really love her, but our family cultures are rather different, and it has taken some adjustment on everybody's terms to learn to live together comfortably. I think we're finally reaching that. At least I hope I'm not driving them crazy. I'm certainly a lot more comfortable than I was 6 months ago. I'm somebody who does not share space well. I have my routines. I need my routines not to change. And there's a reason for the way I do everything, and makes me hard to live with. But it also makes me have trouble living with other people, especially people who don't have routines. I mean, my husband has his routines as well, and we accommodate to each other's routines, and then they don't often change without a good reason. And that's not how it works for the average 20-year-old. And, well, my older children were gone by the time they were 16, so I've not actually been through this stage of parenting before. Anyway, but the young folk have been pushing themselves absolutely to the limits, I think. Running too hard and not taking enough time to catch up on their rest. And it's none of my business. They're in their 20s. If they want to run themselves ragged, That is their right. But Mama can't help being Mama, can she? So, that paper is not making it easier to see what I'm doing, is it? I know some people put a lot of effort into getting absolutely smooth ink blending. I think I've said before, that just isn't so important to me. I actually like the uneven look, the I don't know, the texture of having splotchy, I suppose it is, but it looks nicer to me. There, that's better. Now I think we're up to where I was before. Next step, this. Yeah, it's kind of blurry. Oh well. It's not a birthday card. The important thing is the letter inside, right? It's practice, it's practice, it's practice. The oldest ones are 13 because I do have older grandchildren, but they've aged out. Once they turn 18, they get letters in response to communications from them or special events in their lives. But as I told them, I write a lot of letters. I write a letter every month, and I enjoy it. But I rarely heard back from the children, the older children. I mean, almost never heard back from the children. And it dawned on me that I couldn't continue this for their entire lives because a one-sided adult relationship is just not healthy. So as they turned 18, I let them know that I was now going to write to them as I wrote to their parents on an occasional basis when there was something to say. And by gum, didn't they then become very good at keeping in touch? It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful, especially now that I have a great grandson and I'm hearing my granddaughter is not a terribly verbal person, at least not in writing or texting but she sends me little photos and videos of him constantly, and that's wonderful. I'm getting to watch him grow up in the way I wish I'd been able to watch her grow up. But his parents were unsupported. I was too far away, and they didn't have anybody else close, and nobody else in their world was making babies, so they were pretty much on their own with this whole baby business. And that's pretty much my experience when I had my oldest kids too. So it wasn't a terrible thing. I didn't feel like I was being neglected, but I had kind of wished that there was more contact. I mean, I heard from them as the kids got older, especially, and there was more energy left for communicating, but I'm hearing about Kian's growth as it happens. It's wonderful. Yeah, that's why the paper. Sorry, folks. I hope you can still see what I'm doing. Have I told you about my project for the year? I have been researching and writing family history. And one of the really interesting things is I was brought up Catholic, but I was brought up American Catholic. As I've been studying my family history and reading about the culture that they came from, I am realizing that Irish Catholicism is a bit different. it feels to me like it still has flavors of the pre-Christian religion of Ireland. Um, they have mass rocks where during the times when it was illegal and dangerous to say mass in Ireland, they would go to these secluded places and they would have their religious observances there. But as I read about them, I have a strong sense that those mass rocks had been in use for religious purposes for thousands of years before, that those had been special and important to the Druids as well. That may just be my imagination, but that's my sense. And while I don't have any particular affinity to modern Druidry, I'm finding that I'm interested in finding out about historical Druidry. So I have asked my family to give me several books on the subject. 2 books of stories by an Irish Druid who is a storyteller. That's what he does. And also a book about how to worship in the Druid way in a country, Australia, that bears no resemblance whatsoever. Does that help? The light keeps flopping itself over, and I'm not sure it's making any difference anyway. Oh well. Yep. Okay. Yeah, the patches are fine because I can just cover them. Now, I had glue. What I thought was really interesting is that my daughter-in-law, who as far as anybody knows has no Irish heritage at all, she's South American, has said that she would really like for us to read, especially the storybooks, after dinner aloud at the table. And we've done that before with other books, but I thought that was so cool. Yeah. Did I tell you that my grandson, who is now turning 20, had been talking about coming to live with me in Australia? Well, he hasn't said otherwise, but rumor has reached me that he told me he'd signed a contract for summer work, but word has reached me that he may very well be offered full-time permanent work at the end of the summer, and this is his dream job. And so he may not be coming after all, but for all the best reasons. I mean, he will probably come to visit, possibly not first thing, but with his vacation time and savings. And that strikes me as absolutely wonderful. And I'm so happy for him to have found what he wants to do and make with his life already at 20. I was in my 30s before I figured it out. Well, not true. What I really wanted most of all from about the age of 5 was to be a mum. And at the age of 20, I was a mum. But, well, almost a mum. It was shortly after my 21st birthday that I actually gave birth. But that isn't a way that you can actually support yourself. As a matter of fact, it makes it all that much more urgent that you find a way to support yourself. So looking for a stamp. Or maybe not. I'm not sure what I'm doing with all of these. Yeah. There were a few really nice stickers in this set. But there's a lot of them that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. A little spooky for my tastes. But I think I know somebody who likes spooky stuff, so maybe I will forward some of those along. I'm pretty sure those are supposed to be postage stamps. And they are pretty, but I don't think that they necessarily immediately shout postage stamps. Yeah, that's better. Didn't leave myself much room for a bigger one. So, just about done here. And it is my intention. I don't know. Is there a protocol? Am I supposed to let people know and ask if they want to participate? Am I actually supposed to have a relationship with the people? No idea. But since I don't really have a place in this community yet, and I would like to, I'm just going to name some people who I like their work, and I would like to see what they make of this all. So, Mystical Misty 1 and Polly's Pretties. Polly and Misty, tag, you're it. This is not likely to stick really well. This is just PVA glue. However, the charms could be pulled off and made into a little piece of jewelry, if the children care to do that. There. Et voila. 3 of the 4 that I'm making. Will this do for a tag? See you all on the 3rd with our Stash Builder collaboration. Talk to you later.